Hello, everybody. It's me. I'm here, and I'm going to be playing in a Swiss time spiral draft because why not? I know a lot of you are probably looking at this and saying, "Oh God, he's paying with ticks. What a monster!" Two things. First, true, I am indeed a monster. Second, I was having a lot of trouble finding time spiral packs, or not necessarily time spiral packs, but the block packs without paying like 12 ticks for them, which is as much as I would be paying anyway. So I figured I'll just save myself the trouble of going through a bunch of middlemen, and I'll just do this. I get 2 wins, then I pay 2 ticks for a planar chaos pack, and then 2 more ticks, so total of 8, total of 4 ticks, and I can run another one back. So it's not a bad deal if you get 2 wins. If you get 1 win, you sell back one of the things, and you get yourself another pack. You sell back the pack you get something back. You win 3, it's a Swiss, you get all 3 packs, 2 ticks, you get to go back in. So really, if you get 2 wins or 3 wins, you're pretty happy. Um, and I figured I don't know what I'm doing, so I want to make a bunch of videos for you guys. So this is how so I'm going to do it. I have no idea how this format works. I'm going to read every single card, and there's about a billion mechanics, most of which I probably am not aware of how they work correctly. So bear with me, but we'll get through this together, and it will be a fun time. If nothing else, I will do my best to be entertaining because it could be pretty funny. Um, but yeah, hopefully we win the lottery, but we'll find that out in the last pack, the future sight pack, if we won the lottery. The lottery, of course, being a Tarmogoyf, which I can sell for a billion ticks. Um, and then the other packs have some cards that are worth a non-zero amount. Uh, so yeah, so let's see what we open. A Nicol Bolas. Wow. Uh, so Nicol Bolas is, you know, it's pretty good, but let me just make sure. Whoops. I don't see a Nicol Bolas above $1. Ancestral Vision, Lotus Bloom, Living End, and Vesuva are the only ones, so nothing there. So let's see what else we have in the pack. Penumbra Spider, which is a very good card. There's Seekers if you want to go into Rebels. There's Wipe Away, just instant speed bounce card that they can't counter or interact with at all. There's Assassinate, which is destroy creature, just you know pretty good. Another Rebel card, and then there's an Aura. Rift Bolt, also good. I mean, this kind of looks like a pack from Modern Masters, honestly. This must have been a very powerful format. Um, I think I'm just going to take the Penumbra Spider, because it's like a guaranteed 2-for-1 over the removal spells. Alright, what are you? You're just a big old guy? Okay. There's an Academy Ruins, which is interesting. Flanking is if it blocks, it gets something. Whenever a creature without flanking blocks it, it gets -1/-1. Okay, what I thought it was. There's just a big firewall. If you have 4 more creatures in your graveyard, return 1. Sack this permanent, give something +2/+2. So if you want to go into slivers, that's available. There is an Armoru Scout, which as a Rebel searcher is really, really good. You can also do like where's the card? Dorkwood Baloth, which is pretty good as well. That's kind of an interesting card. I think I'm gonna take the Scout over the Baloth because if we can, get a bunch of rebels, then I think we can be very happy. Because you can do some pretty crazy stuff. You're just a human soldier that can block two things. What do you do? Gains island walk until end of turn? What? I have no idea how that works. Name a card, reveals a card random from their hand. If it's that card, they discard it. Okay. Some Thallid stuff. Empty the Warrens. Strengthen numbers. Not really a ton of good stuff here that I can see, unless I'm missing something. That's pretty good, I think, maybe. Like water breathing. Um, hmm. Could take the Rebel, but it's very underwhelming. I think I'll just take the corpse. Suspend's pretty good, I think. Alright, so there's a Terramorphic Expanse, but I don't think we're doing that. Doesn't untap during your untap step. Pay 1 to untap it. That seems bad. Target creature on top of its library, so it's a bad grip tide. Exile target artifact or enchantment. If you cast it during your main phase, exile another one. Could be good. What do you do? Flying Flash. Enters the battlefield. Switch target creature's power and toughness until end of turn. That could be pretty good. Going into our third color, though, do we want to do that? Just like a Brine Elemental, maybe? Take a Knight. I'll take a Knight. Then Tuco Shaman. That seems pretty good. Lens. Taps to add a mana. Then 1 and tap to fix your mana. Seems decent. Just a random storm card. Just a big dude. I think we'll just take the Nantuko Shaman here, right? When there's a battlefield, exile target creature with shadow. So if it's the only creature with shadow, exile another one. Okay, so it gets rid of another one, but I think we're just going to take this. I haven't seen a lot of good rebels, and if I have, I missed them. So there's that. Smallpox? Pox seems good. There's also a Fathom Seer, which is a pretty good card. Silverez, put the top card of his library into his graveyard. Not really looking what I want to do. D5 Vigilance, that gains us life. Seems hard to pull off. Kind of like a little dragon guy, but we'll just take Pox. Maybe we can do something with that. Alright, let's see what else we got. We have here this guy. Oh god. Wow. Okay, so that seems kind of crazy bad, maybe. Or it's good, I don't know. I don't know how this format works. Yeah, giving something a flashback is cool, but the downside of having to sack like a billion permanents if it gets damage dealt to it seems bad. Um, let's just take the totem. It ramps and it can turn into a 5/5 with trample, which doesn't seem bad. Um, hmm. Ooh, that would have been a combo with the other thing we saw. I don't think it's worth taking because of that, but it is of note. Hmm. Let's see. None of this stuff really seems like stuff we're gonna play. We're looking like we're like a green-black type deck, so maybe we just want like a 2/2 with flash that can regen. Sure. We'll just do target permanent you control or suspend card you own. That permanent card is a time counter. Remove a time counter from it, or put another time counter on it. Okay. What are you? Return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. You skip your next turn. Oh, that seems weird. Prevent all damage that will be dealt. +1/+1 reach. Yeah, we'll take the Aether Web. That seems fine. Hasty Guy. Just put a 1/1 onto the battlefield. Doesn't seem great. We're not in like a Thallid base deck. Reveal their hand and the top card. And I guess we take that. We'll take the Academy Ruins. It's a rare. I don't think we're playing the other card. Nothing in our colors here. I guess we'll take Bewilder. Because it's like a cantrip. Sure. Alright, we might not be in the right colors. I guess the snare seems like the biggest thing for us to deal with. Yeah. Might have gotten cut a little bit. But I don't really know what's really that good. Whoops. Da-da-da. Alright, so none of these cards are silly good. Melancholy seems decent. It's Claustrophobia, but in black. Giant Dust Wasp is something I would really like. Draw 2 cards, then discard 4 cards. Oof. There's 2 of them in the pack. Man, I'd really like the Dust Wasp, but I feel like this is just really good removal. So I'm going to take that. I'd like to get more Suspend. Man, that card seems pretty powerful. Kind of want to... No, we'll take the Melancholy. Miri the Cursed, huh? Flying, first strike, haste. Whenever it deals combat damage to a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Seems pretty decent. I mean, just seems really good. Alright, so this is gain 3 life, prevent 3 damage. Deal 1 damage to target creature and you gain 1 life. Target creature gains first strike or tap target creature. Oh, maybe that'll come back. Sliver. So basically it's just a 2/2 for 2 for us that we can, I guess, gain life off of incidentally. Sure, we'll take Miri. She seems good. I'm not seeing a lot of green and black again, which might be bad. Might have just been the first 2 packs, or it might be just an issue with everyone's in green and black right now. So we need to keep our eyes open for another place to move into if we need to move somewhere. Braids, but not crazy braids, regular braids. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, they may put an artifact creature or land from their hand onto the battlefield. That is really cool that the other braids is like Just like, yeah, you guys can have things. Things are great. Put things onto the battlefield. And then her alter ego shows up and it's just like, kill all the things. Um, okay, so what does your kicker do? Enters the battlefield. If it was kicked, tap target creature, tap target untapped creature, and that creature deals damage equal to its power to its controller. All right. It's also a Deadly Grub, Midnight Charm, and a 5/5 that can't attack unless it's the opposing player controls a swamp. That'll come back, I think. Huh. Yeah, I think we'll just take the Battle Mage. It's a dude and it does other things. Alright. What are you? Whenever an opponent gains life, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. That's a 2/2 for 2. Whenever you cast it, any player may sack a creature. If it does, it gets countered. Okay. Um, Cradle the Grave. Put target non-black creature that entered the battlefield this turn. So it's like a removal spell for only creatures that enter the battlefield. Seems weird. Um, huh. I guess I just want a 2-drop, or is this card good? This card could be a bomb, and I just don't know it. And if that's the case, I'm going to feel real bad. But I just don't want to be leaving man up, and if he doesn't play anything, then I'm just sad. Okay, cool. Melancholy, number 2. That's just a Thallid Maker. We already read that card, and we read that card. And that card is also the same. Wow. Well, that poor guy doesn't look like he's going to have a good day. He looks like he's about to get destroyed by a meteor. Discard a card, sack a land, put 2 lands onto the battlefield. So it's like it makes all the cards in your hand Harrow, but it's in blue. This is a weird format. But seeing a second Cradle the Grave makes me feel like maybe there's some of them will come back. All right. For each tapped non-land permanent target or opponent controls, go. Yeah, that's not going to do anything in this format. Flying Haste with a big echo. Discard a card. Target creature gets +1/+0. And first strike, nah. When you cast it, any player may pay 5 life. If they do, counter a spell. So it's basically nugs them for 5 or counters a spell. Could be interesting. We are a little bit heavier black than green right now. The Drake seems good, though. I'll take the Drake. Alright, what's this do? Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, search your library for a creature with the same total power and toughness and put it onto the battlefield. How often is that going to trigger? And 6 mana? Seems like a 6 mana do nothing enchantment. It seems stupid good if I can get it to go off, but let's see, we're going to have 8 cards missing out of this pack, so we're going to get 1 card back. It'll probably be what, like Vow? Or Revered Dead? It doesn't seem like it'd be anything good. I'll take the Brain Gorgers. Okay, so there's a Blight Speaker, which just as a 2 mana drain 1 every turn is fine. And if I get like 1 or 2 rebels incidentally, are you a rebel? No, you're a vampire cat. None of you are rebels, right? Yeah. You can just occasionally get me some value if something happens later on. That's kind of a funny card. So yeah, why not? I think it's better than the Seal and the Serpent. And then we get like basically nothing. besides a really weird enchantment removal card, which I'm pretty sure is just going to be in the sideboard. Oh well. Okay. Midnight Charm. Drain someone for one, tap something down, or give something first strike. I like having options. Simian Spirit Guide, huh? I think you're worth taking here over a random 5/5 that might not be able to even attack or block. Also, Reality Acid still in the pack makes me sad. That card's just insane, but I mean, it says you have 3 turns to deal with this enchantment, but there's a lot of cards that say bounce a permanent in this set, I've noticed already, and that makes me sad because you could just be like, oh, I bounced this permanent. And then they're like, oh, well, that's bad for me because you get to put it back into your hand and play it on something else. And you get to it leaves the battlefield, so that thing just dies. Sure, I'll take Dash Hopes. Might run it, might not. Who knows? Hide. So we have enough cards to build a deck with, which is always nice. I'd prefer to get more cards that are good, and we didn't hit the lottery. Wop wop. There's a Bound in Silence, but you know, it's not as good. There's a Death Rattle and a Grave Peril. Goyf, Land, Pact, Venser, yeah. River of Teals, Coalition Relic. Yeah, there's a lot of cards that are money. We didn't get any of them. So, do we take the Death Rattle or the Grave Peril? I think I like the Death Rattle a little bit better than the Grave Peril. Because the Grave Peril is on the battlefield and they see it coming. Rather than a Death Rattle, which is just like, all of a sudden we start exiling cards from our graveyard and they're like, oh crap, this is going to go bad for me. Maybe we can get like some cards back out of this pack. We'll see. Darksteel Garrison. It has Indestructible. Whenever a fortified land becomes tapped, target creature gets +1/+1, fortify 3. I don't know what that means. Okay, so it's equipment, I guess. So that's a thing. So you just equip it to a thing and it does and gives stuff +1/+1 by tapping it, whatever. That looks decent. If it was dealt damage this turn, you can kill it. We don't have enough slivers to make either of these good. I don't even know what Frenzy does. When it attacks and isn't blocked, it gets a buff. Okay. That just gives something betterness. Sure. I think it's just the Witch. Wow, a lot of really good red cards going by, I have to say. There's this guy who's a 4/3 with haste for 5, flying, which is, pretty good. And then you have Ghostfire, which is the second Ghostfire we've seen go by. Card that gets Shadow if we have no cards in hand. That could be good. Enchant creature has discard a card. It gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Put a 1/1 onto the battlefield. Buyback. Convoke. Card seems decent. Not sure if it's good. You just like pay 5 mana, put a creature onto the battlefield, and you just do it like twice a turn. Instant speed. Just hold them off forever, basically. You just keep making guys. If I'm completely off on that, then oh well. Cards in graveyards lose things. Draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of creatures you control. Okay. Deep Cavern Imp. Decent card. There's also just a straight up Nessian Courser. And you just make a 7/7 and it has Convoke. Could be interesting. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2 and then reveal. If it's a creature card, draw a card. That actually seems pretty good. We have 14 creatures. We're probably cutting creatures as we go at this point, but it's that, I guess, or the Grave Peril, really. But again, I don't like having just a on the battlefield thing where it's like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Imperiosaur? If you control 4 or fewer lands, search your library for a basic land, put onto the battlefield tapped. If not, you sack a land, and you draw a card. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. Just a regular dude. Enters the battlefield. Scry 1, then reveal. Wait, what? Oh no, Putrid Cyclops gets -X/-X. I thought you gave -X/-X to something, and I was like, 3 mana 3/3 that can just kill a guy? That was super powerful, and now it's not. What does this do? Whenever you cast a spell, be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control this turn. Alright. Alright, another Death Rattle. I'll take it. I don't think we're going to need, like, ramp cards. We kind of top out at 4. The alternative is just take, like, that or the Cyclops. But just take another removal spell. Alright, so we got a Cutthroat, destroy an enchantment, or a Grave Robber that can get value if you menace it because they make you discard it. If they like Mind Rot you, you discard 2 creatures, this being one of them. You pay the madness cost. You buy the card back. Seems good. We're kind of bogged down in 4-drops, but again, we're not really getting any non-4-drops to deal with here. We have like just big power guys, so I think I'm just going to take that. I think we're going to need to be just super efficient in what we're doing. 3/3 for 4 that can also just do stuff. You know, just get huge. And then another card that just lets us buy back our other stuff. How does Madness work? Is it anything makes it discard? If you discard this card. Okay. Huh. That kind of makes the crown a little better. It's like the Primarch. Diversify ourselves a little bit. I don't think the Drudge guys are making it at this point. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, each of that player's opponents draw a card. And it's a 2/3 for 3. I guess it's that, or draw a card off of a creature for 4 mana, which again, we're bogged down in 4s. Or on the battlefield, removal spell. I think I'll just take the 3-drop. It's possible that we can, do something silly with it. If we just because I think we're gonna have like removal spells and stuff. So we have what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 none, or I guess 6. We're probably not playing Dash Hopes. We'll take that. If we need it, we can do that. So Crown or Massive Ghouls. Just take a big body, I guess. Geez, again, apparently this card is as bad as I think it is, which is good because it makes me feel less bad about not wanting it. We have a couple cards that do some card advantage-y things, so we'll just take the Peril. Sure. Sure. Whatever. Alright. So we got some interesting cards. I'm not going to say they're good, but they're definitely interesting cards. Is this a 2-1 or 3-0 deck? I don't know, but we're going to find out. All right. So you're definitely in. You're definitely in. You're probably in. You're in. You're in. Maybe. You're not. You're not. You're not. None of you are. Midnight Charm. Yeah, you're probably in. Put you in the maybe pile. Maybe. Maybe. Smallpox. Each player loses a life, discards a card, sacks a creature, sacks a land. So I can set up a board state where I can get some advantage out of this. Where either I don't have a creature or I have like a useless creature out, and he has to get rid of a good creature. I have multiple cards in hand or dead cards in hand. Smallpox seems good. Grub seems good. Double Melancholy are definitely in. Cyclops is a maybe. If he becomes a target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. He is a 3/3. Can probably get targeted a lot of the time, but he's also often going to be a 1-for-1 at that point, and if I get to attack with him once, I'm probably getting a good value out of him. I'll put him in the maybes. You're in. That's the when I cast them, they have to sack a creature to counter him. But you guys in the maybes. You guys in the maybes. You're definitely in. You're definitely in. Nice curve topper. Yep. You're in. What? How good's the blue side? Target player discards 3 cards. All right. Well, I might be running an island for fun. Shaman's definitely in. You're a maybe. You're a not main board. We'll see how many non-creature spells I have. You're in, and you're in. All right. So what do we look like? Death Rattles are probably going to be closer to like here. You're a 1-drop. You're a 4. Uncali's are probably more like a 5 or a 6. So I don't really want to play him out early. I'm not playing you for less than 5. Probably like a 6 more. Probably like a 5. Alright, well this is an issue. We didn't take any early drops, which makes me kind of want to run things like the Skulking Knight as just a body. This gives us 14 creatures. We can play around this. Right? We can play around this. It also makes us our mana worse, though. Okay, so cards in the running for the last card in the deck. I think it's like... probably not even that. Like these guys. So for 3 mana, it becomes a 5/5 artifact creature, black horror artifact creature with trample until end of turn. And it ramps us a little bit from our 3 to our 4s, which is really important for us. And making a 5/5 is pretty good, especially with trample. We don't have any value we can get off of this. So I'm pretty sure. Kavu, Vampire Cat, Spider, Drake, Elf, Insect, Grub. Yeah, that's even a jeez. Then the Witch is a witch. It's an enchantment. Oh, that's an enchantment. Thought it was like a dude. Hmm. So it's 6 mana to kill your first thing, and then you also have to deal damage to it. Huh. I don't really have. I'm not in like a red deck, so I can't even like ping something and then just go off with this. I could just run it as like if I block, like if I chump with something, I can then get value out of the chump. It makes all my chump blocks really good, actually. At that point, do I want to bring in like one of these guys? No, probably not. It's probably the totem, so I can get my mana ramped up to here. And it's only 14 creatures, so I'm probably not running that. I have a lot of removal as ways of dealing with stuff. And if I can get to my 4 mana, I can kind of go to town on them. Make them regret all their decisions in life with my just really good green cards. Like I can play the Shaman and just draw a card the next turn. Can draw a card off of that. That's like a 2-for-1. That card's just silly. Flying First Strike Haste gets a +1/+1 counter when it deals damage. Now I just have like just a big 5/5. I can Convoke for a 7/7. Buy stuff back. Yeah, this seems fine. As much as I would love to pay with the blue kicker on that. Whoops, I want color. You go over there. You go there. You go there. Where's the Drake? Drake goes there. I think Massive Ghouls also goes over there. Yeah. Okay. So I have pseudo sketchy mana. I don't think I really want to run like a 9/7. I guess I have this. Just to run a value island. If I had a way of searching it out or something, I'd do it, but I currently don't. I think I'll just run 9/8. Because there are some really powerful spells I want to cast with double green. And I have this as well in the deck, which counts as a black mana source. So I think I'll just run this. Alright. Thanks you guys for watching this first bit, and I will see you in round 1.